Welcome back, Hottie Rebel fans. This is episode 27 of the Rebel Nation Conversation. I am your Rebel-Fan69, and my co-host is the Themetalreb. Together we make up the Rebel Nation Conversation podcast, your one-stop shop for uninformed and non-expert Ole Miss sports conversation.
Unsullied by sponsorship since 2025.
And as usual, guys, if y'all watching us on our YouTube channel, then you're in the right spot. But for those of y'all catching us on TikTok, please come to our YouTube channel. It's located at youtube.com/@the-RN-Convo. Well, Metal, how's your week been going so far?
Man, hanging on. It's cold in Mississippi.
Yeah. Got a little chilly here in West Texas, too, but it's done started cooling. Started warming up, I guess is a better way to say it. And so we're in mid-80s out here today. So.
Maybe the last cool snap we get.
Yeah, my mom always called it the Easter snap.
Yeah.
Yeah, got right before Easter. So.
Yeah.
Well, in episode 26 there, we covered all the football and kind of general news and covered men's and women's basketball. So we're going to move on to baseball. Since we didn't tape Sunday, I'm going to go back a little bit further, obviously, in my recap here. Last week in midweek action, Rebel lost to Southern Miss Golden Eagles by a score of 2-1 in Hattiesburg. That was a game that we could have just as easily have won it as we did lose it. Great pitching duel. We just didn't hit when we needed to hit. We had runners in scoring position several times in that game and just couldn't get them in for scores. And we had men on. We had two on in the ninth, and Will Furnace hit a ball that ball would have been out at most ballparks. It would have been out in Swayze. It would have went out in the Pete on any other night but that Tuesday night. I don't know. It just held up. For some reason, he barreled it up good. It took it to the warning track. It just was an out, a long out.
Yeah.
So, but that would have been a 3-run shot. And, game. And like I said, we could have just as easily have won it as we did lose it. Rebels left Hattiesburg and traveled to Austin to take on the number 2 team in the nation, Texas Longhorns, in the opening weekend of conference play this last weekend. And we win game 1, 9-8, took 11 innings, but we did win it. But game 2, game 2 and 3 both were just.
Yeah, we got
terrible.
wore out both games. I ain't gonna lie. I was hoping to get one game out there.
Well, I was too, but I was hoping,
Yeah, you win the first one, you get greedy. You want to win the series. A tough road series on the road's always nice to get, but I wasn't shocked as to how that went down. Honestly, we was down big in the first game.
Yeah.
And
we was. And fought back. Had a grand slam to tie.
Yeah.
Actually take a lead. The grand slam gave us a lead, and we all gave that up to let them tie it in the ninth. And then we traded a scoreless 10th and won it in the 11th. But in game 2, though, this is kind of something to note. Game might have been a little different if this didn't happen. Who knows? Because the guy's been dominant all year. Rebel starting pitcher Cade Townsend, goes out, leaves the game in the second inning. Yeah. Something to do with his right shoulder. The Ole Miss coaching staff felt it was prudent to just lift him and until further evaluation was done. And Metal, that's the right call. It's early in the season, and that's the number 2 team in the nation we're playing. If we end up losing it, which we did, I don't think it's going to kill us down the road. It's just too early in the season for it to be a make or break. And quite frankly, man, this kid is projected to be a top 7 draft pick. An upcoming MLB draft in July this year. And you kind of owe it to him and his family. We're talking generational wealth out there, you got to pull him. You got to pull him until you can get a look at it.
Yeah, yeah. You can't risk the kids' health.
You know.
What
and, and quite
where do we
frankly,
stand? Where do we stand today with him?
well, that's what I was going to go to next. We got the films yesterday, and they came back clear. With us, this weekend is a Thursday night start. We start this series this weekend because of the SEC network. They like to show a game on Thursday night, and it rotates. Everybody has to do their turn of being a Thursday, Friday, Saturday rotation, and
Yeah,
tomorrow night's our deal. With that being a one night earlier, which means he'll pitch Friday if he was going to go in his normal part of the rotation, be one night earlier. I don't think he starts at all this weekend. I think they'll go with either Rabe or Hudson Calhoun because those are the two guys that you've been using for our long relief this year, and they're the ones that Bianco said at the start of the year. Just barely missed a starting rotation for the weekend rotation as it was. So I expect
So
him to
you
go
so
with one
you
of those.
think you think we set him all weekend?
We set him all weekend. Let him rest. Just let him rest it this weekend, and next weekend is against State back in Oxford. I feel like he goes to his normal spot there, unless something occurs between there and there. He's still discomfort or whatever, but it's just more or less I don't know. Just he felt some discomfort and they pulled him. He felt something and flagged him out, but again, it was the right call.
Yeah,
I expect him to go the next week against Mississippi State in game 2.
yeah,
Then again, Rebels lose game 3, 8-2. So we kind of recap this. I had hoped over that 4-game stretch. I told you last week that I hoped Ole Miss could go 500. We didn't. We went 250. But again, these were two top 10 ranked teams. Southern was ranked number 7 in the nation, and Texas was ranked 2 in the nation. So, and we took game 1 in Austin. So, hey. I mean, there's a lot of people upset, and I've seen a thread going on the board about, hey, we're okay with losing game 1. I mean, or only taking 1 out of the 3, but it's how we losing because we get the batters on. I mean, the runners on base, and we're just not getting them home. But that's been our MO all year. We've been long ball or bust is the only way we've scored runs. We haven't situationally hit all year long. So why do you think it's going to be any different when you go to the number 2 team in the nation?
well, I
We're
kind
still
of
going to do the
mentioned
same
that
thing.
last week with Dunk, and he said he seemed to think that we've been getting on base, but
What we do?
um,
We get on base, we
well,
just
I
don't get
guess
them home.
then we don't get them
That's
home. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. It's been our MO all year long to get hits, and we did up there. I don't remember the exact number. I want to say it was Chase. It said it in either yesterday's or Monday's podcast. One of them, we had over 10 opportunities this weekend against Texas with runners on third base with less than 2 outs, and we got none of them home. 0.
I wonder how many solo home runs we've hit this year. Our percentage of home runs that brings in nobody
Yeah,
seems like
I don't even know if that's a stat to carry. Honestly, it'd be something you'd have to go through one player at a time. I'm guessing, but
yeah, just seems like
well,
when we get a shot, we don't.
the Ole Miss color analyst for baseball, Brad Henderson, he played at Ole Miss. He coached around the league several stops too, but he's back on there doing color with Kellum. He always says solo home runs don't beat you.
Yeah, no,
But that on the flip side of that, from a offensively side, solo home runs ain't gonna win any for you either. You won't get runners on. So we haven't had a bad thing is the guys that were supposed to be really turning out Reuter, Randall and Foley. Foley was a home run leader last year for this team. 20 home runs last season. He's batting. I don't know. I'd have to look it up, but he's batting somewhere around in the. He's batting. Let's see real quick. Foley. He's batting somewhere around in the $190 range. So here we are, $167. Seriously. And so we get in the middle of the order and we can't flip it. You know what I'm saying? We can't flip the order. Can't get a couple of hits out of these guys. It gets us back to the top of the order where guys are hitting well, like Judd Udemark, Tristan Bassetto, who's been he's been outstanding this year.
Yeah.
We just can't flip the batting order because in the middle of we just stall out somewhere in the middle. Now, there is a side note that I would like to say here. Hayden Federico he's been just not performing like we want to, not offensively. Defensively, he's fine. But I feel like, honestly, I'm going to make a prediction that he's coming out of that funk right now because last weekend against good pitching now, he barreled up a lot of pitches. He's just getting a bit unlucky. He's hitting them, these line drives, he's hitting them right at people. So they're catching him for an out, but they're hit hard. I do still feel like he's trying to lift too many pitches. He gets them in the air, and with his speed, we want him hitting the ball on the ground and legging them out. But he is hitting them hard. And sooner or later, those balls are going to find holes. And when they find holes, he's going to start getting them. And I feel like that's coming right now because you're just hitting weak grounders or striking out all the time. That's one thing. But he's not doing that now. He's hitting them hard. He did this last week. So I hope he's coming out of that. So that brings me up to the next up is starting tomorrow. Like I told you earlier, we've got Kentucky coming into Oxford for a 3-game tilt. Kind of a little on them. They just swept Alabama this last weekend, so they're 3-0 in the conference play, 18-2 overall. As a pitching staff, they have an ERA of 3.56. Offensively, they got a team batting average. They got a team batting average of 3.06, and defensively, they're fielding at 9.78. So they are a very good baseball team, at least this early in the season. They lead Ole Miss in every one of those categories, and that's kind of your main 3 categories that you judge. So. Yeah, I feel like it's a series we can easily win this game. We can we want to go 750 this weekend. We want to take 2 out of the 3, but and it's easily done. I feel like, but they're gonna. I heard Chase today say on their Blue Sky Live talking with Neil this morning, and he was absolutely right. They're gonna beat us. This is a team that can expose our Achilles heel. And that means because we have kicked it around defensively all year, had several errors. We're not fielding the ball real well. And they're small balling it. They're hitting it around. They're the teams that are doing that, situational type stuff, We're fielding at a 9.72, which is a little better than we were earlier in the year. But still, they're going to hit the ball at you and make you make plays. And I don't know. They might be the team that we can break out of it with. But also, I do know that they're a team that can take advantage of our weaknesses as well. So
yeah.
I'm anxious to see it.
Well, they got the sweep last week, so they must be doing something right over there.
Yep, it was in Lexington. They had the Tide came to Lexington, so it's not quite like basketball and baseball where the home field, is like your 10th man on the field for you. But it's it is. In baseball, in a lot of ways, it might even be bigger. To be honest with you, your field. You know where there's a like a little small sprinkler head out there or something. How much foul territory room you got. You don't have to look down and check where you are. You know where you are on the field because they got a little bit different dimensions, right? So there are some things that really helps you out in. So and we'll be back in Swayze this week. We got them here. So baseball is quite what it is right now. Unless we can start finding ways to situationally hit.
Well, it ain't going to get no easier schedule-wise.
No, it just gets worse.
The
only good thing I can say is right now Vanderbilt, who was a always perennial good, and so was LSU. They were the reigning national champions. They're all struggling too.
Yeah.
It's not quite the same. They're just losing some games, But,
Yeah.
you know. Well, kind of covers all our sports topics for this week. We're going to move on into our From the Board segment, which is this week. I know my co-host over there, he's really looking forward to this because he kind of started this topic out on the board this week and got some pretty interesting topics. But I'm gonna let Metal. I'm gonna let you tee this one up. You kind of brought it out as like seeing something that you can't explain in the wilderness. Go ahead, just tee it up. Tell everybody what we're discussing.
Well, I posed the question, if you will. Has anybody ever seen anything that they couldn't explain in the woods? Hunting or hiking or whatever. And what piqued my curiosity is, we've heard all our life about Bigfoot and whatever. Well, Bigfoot ain't never even been on my radar until about 2 years ago, and I ain't never seen nothing. I ain't never seen no Bigfoot or anything like that. But somebody that I trust says that they have. And so it just kind of piqued my curiosity and got my interest up a little bit. And then if you start doing any kind of research at all, you see there's people all over the place that claim to have had encounters, one in one fashion or another. And there's videos, there's pictures and all that, but everybody always says that they're not real or they're,
doctored.
Yeah, doctored or whatever. But when somebody that you believe, somebody that's not known to come up with wild tales, tells you something, then it just kind of gets your wheels turning,
Yeah. I
don't know. I mean, you start talking about this and people think you've lost it. Off your rocker. So, again, I've never seen anything like that.
Yep.
But it's a lot of people say they have. I mean, are they all just lying?
Well, I guess my deal is I hunted an awful lot as a kid. I hunted actually to probably my early 30s. From the time I was a child up to my early 30s, I was a big time hunter. Lived for that time of year,
Yeah.
And I never saw anything out there like that.
Yeah.
And quite honestly, I haven't really ever seen. I've seen a lot of people come on there about one of the big things you see in Mississippi all the time. People talk about a black panther.
Black Panther, yeah.
And no one's ever trapped one. No one's ever caught one or killed one or anything like that. And the Mississippi Department of Wildlife, Fisheries, and Parks has begged people, anytime you've seen a sighting or something like that, get in contact with us. We need to try to find this and everything. I have saw a pretty large cat out in the field before, but it was so far out there, and I really think it was not black by any means. I really think it's just a very large bobcat, whereas a panther would probably be double that, in size. They're just huge animals. So that's the thing even closer. But back to Bigfoot, I don't know if we're quite in the region that Bigfoot would be. They're kind of more like the Pacific Northwest type mountainous stuff from everything I've ever seen. But why hasn't there ever been even a carcass or something found? As many hunters as in the woods up there,
Yeah. And everybody always says, why, after all this time, why isn't there something undisputed, some kind of indisputable evidence, some kind of DNA sample. With the technology we've got now, you would think there would be something. And
Yeah. It's just hard for me
I
to
don't know,
believe.
man. I can't answer that. I
I
don't
mean,
have those answers.
I know
Um,
where you're coming from. Again, you trust this guy
yeah.
with every bit. You would trust him with your family, But
Uh,
um, and you, but like, it's just hard. We're creatures of habit. We got to be showed something, and then
yeah.
we're almost into the. And now we're with all the AI and stuff that's out there. You can show me, and I still don't half-ass believe it.
I know, man.
So
That's another
so yeah,
topic that maybe we need to get into one day. Man, that is going to get some people in trouble.
yeah, I know, but
I mean, there's so much AI video, AI music that's out there. Just if you can imagine it,
yeah.
unbelievable, man, unbelievable.
Uh, so yeah, my final say on Bigfoot, I'm gonna go with a big no. That they don't exist, at least from my standpoint of them. But
Man, ain't it fun
uh,
to believe though?
gotta have something to
Ain't it
believe in, I
fun?
guess. I mean, you know,
Oh
but
my goodness.
other deal. I started the topic on this because I actually brought it up to you. Remember, and the reason I brought this up to you is because again, you're my basketball go-to, right? I mean, I'm not. I wasn't the basketball player, so and it just wasn't my favorite sport. So, this is the only time I've ever heard this terminology used because it was brought up over
Reportling.
pre-portaling. It was brought
Report.
up over Chris Beard. They was wanting to know what's he doing right now. Is he out there? Is he at least pre-portaling, trying to get us some guy?
Yeah.
I've only seen it used in reference to basketball, and so I asked you, is this something I just don't know about? Because if I take it at just what it says, pre-portaling, it sounds an awfully lot like a politically correct way to
Tampering.
tampering.
Yeah. That's all it is.
And so it's just semantics, I mean, so
Yeah.
how come if we call it pre-portaling, we can go out there and do it all day long, and everybody in the world's doing it? Call it tampering.
Think about this. Think about this. There's literally a term for it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I mean, so coming back, so that's I guess I'm trying to bring it back full circle to Tampergate there. Again, this whole thing, man, people just don't want to let it die.
Yeah.
And I guess me and you talking about it is sort of in some way the same deal. But they want to think that the Ole Miss fitting to get a book thrown at them. But I promise you, if you've noticed, man, Golding ain't said nothing.
Mm-hmm.
We've been quiet and doing what we're going about our business. I'm telling you, he's got receipts just like Dabo does.
Yeah.
That's just I gotta believe that. And he's right now. You can call it what you want. I feel like he's feeding rope. And
Well, I
keep
just
on
don't
put.
think. I think he's smarter than to do something that blatant without a backup plan or without some kind of knowledge that would protect him and protect Ole Miss. I mean, it would just take an idiot to not, you know, to do something that brazen if it is indeed exactly as Dabo has said it is. I just don't believe that.
Well, I mean, we've pretty much admitted, yes, all right, he sent the text message. It's there. It's real. That's not been denied. But again,
No, I'm not disputing that. But
uh,
for him to do that, there's something else he knows.
exactly. I contend that he's got receipts on Dabo himself.
Yeah.
Because again, I can fully contend that Luke Farrelly was not out there on the farthest left coast playing for UC Berkeley, and by all accounts seemed to be happy there. he didn't just immediately go, you know what, I think I'm going to go to Clemson next year. And that's all the way across the freaking country. It's about as far across the country as you can go.
Yeah, that didn't happen like that.
Somebody let him know. And for somebody to tell me, well, it wasn't Dabo that said it. It wasn't Dabo that, well, that to me is no more than just a distinction without a difference.
Yeah.
I promise you, he wasn't contacted by Clemson without Dabo's knowledge that they was contacting him. Dabo knew it. But also keep pushing it. Keep pushing that damn narrative. All we're going to end up is losing him for a game against a nobody opponent. And we're going to bring out we're going to start throwing down the damn receipts on our former coach.
Mm-hmm.
And I promise you, he pushed the limits on tampering. Pre-Portland.
Oh, yeah.
Let's call it that. Pre-Portland.
Yeah, there ain't no doubt about that.
And so I was trying to find, there's one other thing that I saw. It came up today, but I cannot find the damn thing at all. But did you see, I can't remember what school it was, Iowa State or something like that. Chase put a deal out there about...
Talked about reevaluating expectations.
No. On going to a younger... There it is. I found it there. Using younger coaches to save money. Miami, Florida, actually. I don't know why I said Iowa. Okay. Miami, Florida AD Dan Radakovich made a strategic, budget-conscious bet by hiring a 37-year-old Jai Lucas to replace Jam Larinaga as the men's basketball head coach, reflecting that he basically got rid of a 4 that's coming back. Florida State hiring Luke's at $2.365 million and Texas A&M hired a replaced a $4.6 million coach with a 42-year Bucky McMillan for a $3 million deal. In other words, going to unproven guys for a lot less money, and that's got to be we got to open up this money for rev share, right?
Yeah, it's all about NIL.
We can't afford to play a high-dollar coach if we can't pay the players. If we're going to keep paying the players. So.
Yeah.
Well, what was your
which means that we're at a place now where college players, some of them, are going to be making more than their coach. Probably already there in some cases.
Yep. I hate to do this. I hate to say this.
I know we're there. Cooper Flagg, the year he was at Duke with his endorsements and everything, from all reports and accounts, made $27 million. I can't prove that, but it's all over the World Wide Web that's what he made.
Wow.
So somebody got that number from somewhere. I wouldn't doubt it. I'll put it that way.
Yeah. Well, I hate to even repeat this because, again, it's Chase Palm talking to Neil in their Blue Sky stuff. So, I mean, I don't want to seem like I'm trying. And the reason I say I hate to repeat it, but he made such a good point. I don't like to seem like we're stealing their content because I'm not. That's not what I'm trying to do. But he made a good point, and I think it's worth us saying. He feels like that college athletics right now is that he used a metaphor. The metaphor is that college athletics right now is that guy that's running around out here, running marathons maybe, running or jogs every day, walking around, but is got a massive coronary artery fixing to blow an aneurysm. And he don't know it. He has no idea he knows it. But then next thing you know, it goes boom, and he thinks that college athletics as a whole is fixing to implode when it comes to we're fixing to reach terminal velocity more or less with what we can sustain financially. That's kind of scary too, because you've seen how fast it got to where it is.
Yeah.
Out of control.
I can't believe very smart people put this idiocy together. Just.
Yeah. I honestly see no way we can go let it implode. It's got to implode. It's got to explode first. And then these players are going to realize they can't get the money no more.
Mm-hmm.
Unless they start coming to the table and we come up with a CBA.
Yeah, and it's going to be their own fault, really, when it happens because
they
of the
drove
greed.
it in the ground. And then, but all right, well, somehow found our way back to sports.
Yeah.
But that pretty much does it. Unless you got any final thoughts.
No, that'll wrap it up for today.
All right, well, folks, that's all we have for episode 27. If you like what we're putting out there, please subscribe, like, and share. As always, comment. Let us know what you think we can do better. And for the Metal Rebel and myself, till next time, hotty toddy, Rebel fans.
Hotty toddy. Go to hell, LSU, and if they're the worst place, please go there.